Y'all, I have been following the Ashlee Jenae story since it broke, and I want to have a real conversation today. Not just about what happened, but about what's likely to happen next. Because here's the question that's been sitting heavy on my heart since I first covered this story. Can we actually expect justice for Ashlee Jenae? And before you answer that, I need you to think about some other names that came before her, names we still don't have full answers for, because the pattern of Black women dying under suspicious circumstances, whether here at home or in foreign countries, and then watching the system fail them over and over again, that pattern is very real, and we need to talk about it. Let's start with Kenneka Jenkins. Y'all remember Kenneka? We watched that story unfold in real time. The footage, the investigation, the community demanding answers, and after all of that, all the coverage, all the pressure, all the eyes on that case, her death was ultimately ruled accidental. Accidental. And to this day, we still don't really know the full truth of what happened to that young woman. The system looked us in the eye and said accidental and closed the book. Then there's Shanquella Robinson, and this one still makes my blood boil because we literally watched it. We saw the video. We saw someone assaulting her with our own eyes. There were reports that doctors falsified documents and that the autopsy was tampered with. Mexican authorities came back with cause of death, violent or accidental. The U.S. ruled it undetermined. And to date, no arrest has been made, not one. We watched it happen and still no justice. So when people ask me, do you think Ashlee's family is going to get answers? I have to be honest, because history is not on our side. Now here is where this specific situation gets even more complicated because Ashlee didn't pass away in America. She passed away in Zanzibar, Tanzania. And while Tanzanian leadership is predominantly Black and African, and that matters, we also have to be real about something. Wealthy white individuals have historically experienced significant privilege in Tanzania. And that is not just an opinion, that is a documented reality rooted in the legacy of colonialism. The perception that white foreigners have money and the power that comes with that money creates what many describe as a systemic advantage in how cases are handled, how investigations are prioritized, and frankly, who gets protected. Joe McCann is reportedly a millionaire, a crypto financier with major investors behind him. And as much progress as Tanzania has made in its anti-corruption rankings over the last decade, corruption remains a pervasive and documented issue in both leadership and public services over there. And we all know what corruption does. It buys silence, it buys paperwork, and sometimes it buys a get out of jail free card. So I need y'all to really think about what Ashlee's family is up against. They are grieving. They are dealing with a foreign country. They don't have the home field advantage. And the person they are pointing questions toward has money, influence, and foreign status working in his favor. That is a really difficult position to be in. And then there's the media piece. Because y'all, as of yesterday, major networks like NBC and ABC had barely touched this story. Barely. We are talking about an American woman who died under suspicious circumstances in a foreign country with her family publicly demanding answers. And it wasn't a top story on the major networks. But you know what was everywhere recently? A CEO getting caught on the kissing cam? That was wall-to-wall coverage. But Ashlee Jenae, crickets from the big networks. And I think we all know why. The fact that she is a Black woman is absolutely a factor in how much urgency this story has been treated with nationally. Now today, it does seem to be picking up some traction online, and I want to give credit where it's due. The online community, the forums, social media, y'all have been doing the work that legacy media hasn't, and that matters. Now, I also want to bring up another name, Chesley Christ, former Miss USA, lawyer, TV correspondent. In January 2022, she passed away after falling from her Manhattan apartment building, and a lot of people immediately said foul play. Immediately. But in that case, her own mother came forward and shared that Chesley had privately battled high-functioning depression for years. Her mother didn't deny that her daughter had taken her own life. And as painful as that truth was, it gave the public some clarity. With Ashlee, it is the complete opposite. Her family and her closest friends are adamantly, publicly, loudly saying this was not in her character. This was not something she would do. And when the people who knew her best are that certain, I believe them. So where does that leave us? Honestly, it leaves us watching and hoping and pushing, because the only reason Kenneka Jenkins got any attention was because the internet refused to let it go. The only reason Shanquella Robinson became a national conversation was because the internet refused to let it go. And right now, that same energy is building around Ashlee Jenae. The general consensus online is clear. People believe there was foul play. Her family does not believe she took her own life. And the question of whether the local authorities will conduct a full and transparent investigation, or whether wealth and privilege will quietly make this go away, that is a question that does not have an answer yet. But we are watching, and I will keep you updated on every single development as this story unfolds, because Ashlee Jenae deserves the truth. Her family deserves the truth, and we are not going to let this get buried. Subscribe, stay close, and share this video, because right now we are the online community keeping this story alive.